So yeah,
tick that off the list.
Yeah, that's it. That's ticked off the list. But that's a good one. But yeah, so when I seen Tez Ilyas in London that night, you had the Home Secretary Suella Braverman. Okay. I don't know whether I should be saying
she was
this.
there as well.
No, her parents were there, right?
Okay.
Now, what happened was they were sat in the front row. Now, me and my mate came out for a cigarette towards the end of the night. Yeah. He came out for a cigarette. I came out for a vape, and then these two old sort of Asian-looking couple came out.
Yeah.
And then the man, the guy, the uncle, came up to me and he said, "Oh, hi, son. Can you help me with my phone? I'm trying to order a cab, but my screen doesn't work, right?" Yeah. So I looked at his screen and it looked like he had taken his screen protector off. So in my head, I thought he's had a drink, right? He's had a couple and he's dropped a drink on his phone.
Right.
And he's taken the screen protector off to try to clean it because his screen wasn't working. It was a bit blurry, right? And I was trying to go into his Uber. It wouldn't work. Yeah. So I said, "Listen, uncle, don't worry. I'm a nice guy. I'll book you an Uber.
Yeah.
You just pay me. You give me the cash, right?"
Yeah.
So I think it was like 30, 40 quid, right? I think 35 quid. The fucker gave me 30, right? So I was shortchanged off a fiver there, right? Now, at this point, I didn't know who this person was, right? So I'm there and I'm like, "Look, I'll book you an Uber." I go, "Look, it's £35, right?" Yeah. And obviously it was an address, a really nice area. I'm not going to say where it is.
With them, it's going to be a nice area.
Yeah, it's a nice area. And obviously, so he's put his address in and I've called the Uber. And literally, he's given me 30 quid. It was 35, but he gave me 30. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I lost out on a fiver. He probably got a lot more money than me. But fuck it, right? I'm not bothered. Clearly, I'm not bothered, right?
You're clearly over it, though.
I'm over it. I am over that fiver. I'm over that fiver. And... and then taxi comes, right? Taxi comes. I thought, okay, old woman and man, no problem at all. Taxi came. I opened the door, said, right, to the taxi driver, "Look after this couple. It's my uncle and aunt, right?"
Yeah.
And then the guy said, "Oh, no problem, that's fine." So they've gone in the taxi. He's given me the 30 quid, and he's gone. And my mate then came, and people were looking. They kept looking at me, right? And then my mate goes, "Do you realise who that was?" And I said, "No." And he said, "That was the Home Secretary's mum and dad."
Yeah.
I thought, oh, wow, that's brilliant. Yeah. And I was like, okay, great. Well, I've done a good deed, right?
Yeah.
Lo and behold, that night, I get an email from Uber to say, "We've revised your fare. Your fare is now £135.
Jeez, where the hell did they go?
No, 145, right?
Where did they go?
They said 145. So I was like, what have they done? Have they beaten up the driver?
Yeah, what did they do?
Have they hijacked the car? What the fuck? Where did they go? Like, did they go back to Jalandhar or whatever, right?
How did the fee go up by over 100
so
quid?
it went up, right? And I was thinking, I emailed Uber.
Yeah.
And I said, what on earth happened here? This was the Home Secretary's mum and dad.
You dropped that one in there.
I dropped the line just in case, right? Just in case that person working for Uber wasn't legal.
Yeah.
I thought it might have scared them.
And we all know this Home Secretary.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Home Secretary. So sort this out, otherwise I'm deporting you back to where you're from, right? So they've got in touch and he said, there was an incident that occurred, which is why we've charged you another £110, right?
What was the incident?
So then I said, what was the incident? And he sent me a picture, and I think the mum threw up.
Oh, shit.
In the fucking taxi, right? She threw up. They've sent a picture of the puke. It was on the mat, right?
Yeah.
Literally, all you had to do is wash the mat.
But it's
right?
still...
But still, yeah?
Puke it up.
Technically, they charge £110 cleaning fee. And I said,
cleaners they getting in?
Listen, bring it to Leicester... And I'll get it cleaned for a tenner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What cleaners they bringing in?
And I'm like, what fucking cleaners? But they're like, no, we've got to take into effect how long it took to clean. The cab driver could not then work for the rest of the night, so you got to compensate for the fares that he would have got within the hour or two he had to clean the car, right? So I've fucking gone online, right? And I've thought, right, let me have a look. So I put Suella Braverman, Home Secretary, managed to find her email address, her PA's email address. I've written to them, showed them the pictures, showed them everything that was going on, told them what happened. And she actually wrote back to me.
Really?
Yeah, she wrote back to me.
What'd you
said,
say?
I'm really sorry, this is really embarrassing. thank you so much for helping my parents out that night. We really appreciate what you did. And she sent me a check for 110 quid. But it took a good few months because it took a couple of weeks. So I emailed back like, you've not responded. Shall I go to the papers? Right?
Oh, that's where you played that card, did you?
I played the papers card, right? And then they email back.
Yeah, only after you threatened that, she wrote back.
Yeah. She wrote back to me. So that night,
Yeah.
I met Tez Elias, the Home Secretary's mum, puked in the taxi that I booked for her.
Aw.
Mad, isn't it?
What a lovely story.
Yeah, great story.
But I don't know what the moral behind it is, but it's...
Yeah, that's how I met Tez Elias, basically.
That's how you met Tez Elias.
Yeah. So I want to say that story to Tez when I gig with him in about 8 years' time.